Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, so back here with us again in English Discussion for Madina Forum, and there's so many forum in there. But so we have familiar faces and interesting topic that we had fun doing preparations of, and I think we need a lot of input from our viewers about this topic. So with me is Namadina Wadda. Some of you call me Anggita,
And as usual, with me, Farah.
Me Fidelina Mafisa.
okay. So in one of the parts in our previous episode, we were talking about live to work or work to live. Then we stumble upon the topic of purpose, like
Yes.
having a purpose. So whether you live to work or work to live, depending on your purpose,
Yes.
then it comes to our mind that do we know our life purpose first and foremost, and secondly, do people actually determine or decide their life purpose consciously or unconsciously? So that's why we brought the topic, and also based on my personal point of view in my self experience, I find myself became more active and firm after finding my purpose, and finding out that my first purpose doesn't have to be my final purpose. So it continues to grow each and every day. And the second is I'm fortunate enough to have the opportunity to converse with a lot of people through trainings, through coachings, through consultation. And from my point of view, one of the main reasons that people find themselves difficult to make changes, have difficulties to succeed, to overcome barriers and everything, is because they don't know their life purpose. So that's why hopefully this will stimulate all of us in finding, creating our purpose. But before that, what is purpose, right? Always we need to like have a common ground about the definition. It can be different for each and every one of us, but okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think for me, the definition of purpose is the reasons of us doing the things that we do in our life generally. So, it's the underlining reason of our life, like why why we take certain jobs, why we befriend certain people,
Yeah.
why we do certain activities. I think the reasoning behind all those things is our life purpose. Yeah, I think that's how I define my purpose.
Okay. And then, Ida, what about you?
Okay, for me, purpose itself is like the guideline for us to live our life, and I think there's a big differences between when we're having a purpose or not. Because if you're not having a purpose, it's like the result of what we're doing. It's like a bare minimum of something. But if we are having like purposes, we're having goals. We can maximize our strategies, our resources to reach the things that we want to achieve. I think
Yeah.
that's-
And for me, purpose is, if we look it up, purpose is actually the reason for which something is done or created or for which something exists. So it's like it's a reasoning, it's a background, so it's a purpose. So something exists because it serves a purpose. So the desk is here to serve the purpose to hold all of these items and to be able to help people to study, to put things and everything. That is also like the existence of this chair, this cell phone, this tablet, and everything we have here. It served its purpose by functioning accordingly, right? So it's like, so hopefully from our very basic opinion, you get the idea what a purpose is. And I think subtracting from what we're saying, so there's a big purpose, a life purpose, and there's a purpose in everything that we do. Sometimes we call it goal, sometimes we call it targets, sometimes we define it as milestone or aims. So we have purpose in each and every actions that we do, but our being, our life, we have this grander purpose that covers everything. So
Yeah.
hopefully, we need to take that into account on our
Yeah.
discussion. Okay, so like on our pre-discussion, we were having a hard time
Yes.
trying to like get a sense of this purpose. So we decided to take on our experiences.
Yeah.
Yeah, both of you maybe have experiences, and I'm just gonna pitch in from their experience because if not, then I will have a long winding storytelling about my experiences and then break it down into explanation. So I'm just gonna take their experiences and then try to make it discussion about purpose, about how we determine purpose and what happens we don't if we don't consciously put a purpose in everything that we do, right?
Yes.
So who wants to share their experience first?
Okay, maybe from me, this is the one that I also experienced. That there's a lot of young generation and like Gen Z generation. It's thinking that they have a lack of awareness of making a purpose in life.
Mm.
So if we're talking about purpose, if we're talking about what is your purpose in life, they would be like, "Are you okay? Is that it's too heavy? Like
Yeah.
just live when we're young and then everything." And because it's actually considering as a heavy things, and it's actually considering as we can think it when we're older, when we're close to the close to the afterlife, yeah, close to death. Yeah, I think it's the stereotype of purpose in our generation, but I think it's important for us to actually determine our purpose in earlier, like in our age, so
Yeah.
we know what we're gonna do, we know what we're gonna achieve in life. Yeah, I think that's what I experienced.
Yeah, taking on from the word purpose itself, so our life will be more purposeful,
Yeah.
right? So for those of us who finds ourselves like wanting to laze around, being unproductive, doing a lot of banalities, like scrolling on the social media without any purpose, without purpose, then I think we need to find our purpose.
Yeah.
And like Frida said, we need to find it early on because it's not gonna be the right one. The first purpose that we get is not gonna be the right one. Although in text, in the textual, in concept, it's the right thing, but in execution, it's not gonna be something that actually lead every actions that we do. We're gonna have some bumps and rocky road along the way, but yeah. So trying to find purpose itself. Yeah, we're gonna talk about how to determine that purpose. So for those of you who are like Fida's friends, it's not a healthy thing. It's just a way for us to be more purposeful in life.
Yeah, and actually, I think we had a little bit of problem when in our pre-discussion. It's because for me, I think it's because my idea of life purpose itself is quite general. Actually, in Islam, each human being is created with a purpose, right?
Of course.
And we all have our own assignments, and I put this notion very close to my heart, but I didn't know this notion up until I was like 25 or 24, actually. Yeah. So after I before I know this notion, or before I put this notion close to my heart, I was living alone. I used to live alone in a dorm, like all by myself, and um, I I tend to think only about myself. I take care of myself. I do things for myself. I improve when I find problems. But when we live in a group, I think it's easier to find your purpose and assignments. Yeah. I can ask myself, what can I do to bring value or benefits for others? And it is easier to find the answer because you see your surroundings, you see the people around you, and you think about what they need. You think about how you can be beneficial for them. So that's my experience with life purpose. I used to be very, you know, purposeless. So like I worked and then I went home and then I would be by myself or hanging out with my work friends
Yeah.
and then scroll social media and then you know I didn't think about the important things that I should be thinking
Yeah.
about, like where is my life going or something like that. But after I live with a group of people in our pengajian organization, it's like even though the usually the targets or the goals were given to me, but um, you know, in this new environment, I find it very not very easy, but I find it very convenient to
To exercise the purpose
yeah,
itself.
yes,
Right?
to exercise the purpose itself. And after I understand fully that all of us have our own assignments, I become more open to the things that come to
Yeah.
me. Yeah. So if let's say someone asks for my help to do something, I would
Yeah.
think about that as my assignment, as one of my assignment. Okay, so this thing comes to me for a reason.
Yes.
What is the reason? So to find out the reason, I have to do that thing, right? So I help that person and I find out that, oh, okay, so by helping this person I learn new things. I open myself up to a new world, for example. Yeah. So I think that's my experience with life purpose. And maybe it's still very general, but just like you said in our pre-discussion, I think finding my assignments or finding my purpose has become my purpose in life.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe it's hard to grasp, or I find it hard to explain to others. But
Yeah.
but that's how I've been living my life, and alhamdulillah,
It's
good.
working for you.
Yeah, it's working for me.
It's looking up. Everything is looking up, right? Yeah. And I think one of the things that, like, the benefit of having a purpose is when our life is purposeful,
Mhm.
we live it with a more ease. We
Yeah.
carry our challenges lighter than
Mhm.
before. So it's not a burden, but it's a challenges. Whereas looking from your experience, like previously before you have this idea, oh, turns out like everywhere I go, I need to find what is my assignment. So you have this mindset of looking for something to do. But like previously, it's probably like when someone asks you for help, don't you know I have a lot on my plate? I already have like my jobs.
Yeah.
I spend like 9 to 5 and then the commute. Are we living in Jakarta? Are you not living in the same city as I am? Like with all of this hecticness and everything. So it became very self-centered and egotistical.
Yeah.
Yes, because that is also what happens to me. Like in early days, my purpose often to be how do I excel in everything that I do. Like, okay, I'm human, like the best being in the world, so I need to prove myself. Like I need to excel to be perfect in everything that I do. And in time, I had enough experiences that turns out when I gain those achievements, turns out it stops there. Like I'm not feeling empty, so I have this pride of this achievement, and then there's always a question, what's next? Or I felt that I'm becoming very submerged in the like the echo of that achievement. So it's like continuously thinking like, oh, like when I was doing this project, which amounting to how many millions and everything, it echoes those achievements. It echoes creating feeling this success, but actually in that time, I'm purposeless. Yes, because I already attained my goal in my own way of thinking. So yeah, so that's why if you're not finding your purpose, then it can become, for example, if you're highly focused on your career, and then when it stops in any given time, because like we cannot control everything, whether it is taken away from you or it is time for you to retire and everything. That's why there will come psychological problems like post-power syndrome, anxiety, this like work addiction, like you felt like you are useless because you're not working and everything. So that is one of the consequences if we don't find a bigger purpose than only the things that we are focusing on, for example our work and everything. Okay, so based on my observation, actually, whether we want it or not, everyone is consciously, unconsciously trying to find their purpose in life. The Although we are being carried away by society, and like you said, the purpose can be determined by the environment that we are in. Like at school, our purpose becomes determined by our parents, our teacher, and the institution
Yeah.
itself, with the standard of having to have good grades, having to be a good student, and everything. For some, it became a purpose. For some, the purpose is to do the opposite, right? Do the opposite, like I don't actually want to go to school. My parents told me to go to school, so I'm doing the best as I can to be bad at school. Like people don't want that, but it's unconsciously or it's becoming very like probably due to a low self-esteem
Yeah.
because of the many competition at school and everything, thinking that we're smart enough because in our small environment we are the smartest in our family. Turns out when we go to school, it's a good school. Like we're not as smart as we think we are because there are many smarter people. I think, and because we don't have a purpose to actually study, to actually exercise self-discipline, to actually grow ourselves as a better person. If our purpose is like our purpose in everything that we do is to learn and grow ourselves to be a better person. It can also be a purpose. Then we're gonna be like having this a lot of psychological problems within us. It can be the pressure of having to do better, or the pressure and then not doing anything, like giving up because I can't compete anyway. So why do I have to do that? So
Yeah.
probably a lot of us experience those kind of things.
Yeah, actually, at some point, years ago, when I was like freshman year or sophomore in college,
Uh-huh.
there was a time where I thought that where I thought about what was I going to do with my life, and because I didn't find the answer, I thought that okay, let's just be a good person with no crime, with no evil thoughts, with no enemies, and do my life as it is, or let's just be a to what is it to translate loosely from Indonesian,
Yeah.
just be a straight person
Oh,
with,
yeah,
with, with
yeah,
a with
yeah,
a
yeah,
straight
yeah,
life
yeah,
and
yeah.
no crime, no evil
Yeah.
deeds, no enemies. So
Yeah, that's what I said.
yeah.
In itself, it's a purpose,
Uh-huh.
but it's a very low standard purpose.
Yeah, that's why. Because I saw myself. Okay, what was I good at? And when I saw others with all of their achievements, with all of their, busyness doing this and that, I think what I needed at that time was a goal. Like I didn't have to think about a purpose in a general way, in a big words,
Yeah.
but I just need a goal to go somewhere and then see what is there and see how can I handle that, and then finally that purpose itself will grow, and then I can finally be here and then
Yeah.
know that I have a certain purpose. So I think for you to have a purpose to start, perhaps for the younger viewers of our English discussion forum, perhaps you can just start with something like with a goal. You start
Yeah.
with something that valuable. You can ask yourself, what important things can I do with my time? So you can go from there, and hopefully someday, 5 years later or 10 years later, your you will found your
Your
purpose
purpose.
in life,
Yeah.
and then even though you're still correcting your purpose, but
Of
you
course.
won't be in the gray area, or you won't be in the confusion of
Yeah.
not
At
finding
least
any
it will
purpose.
minimize like
Yeah.
the instability, emotion instability, confusion, anxiety, pressure, like. And I think it comes to the question on how we determine our purpose. Like Farah answers, like the first method that we can do is like finding goals or targets in specific things that is in front of us. If you're in college, then set a goal and made it your purpose. Like
Yeah.
you go university is a place to study. So it's like it's quite easy to determine our purpose. It's like to study or learn as many things as possible
Yeah.
there. But that's not what people do when we go to college, right? Yeah, right. They want to find friendship. They want to find
join
community.
organizations.
They want to have fun. They want
Yeah.
to experience the freedom of the pressure that they have from their parents, although they still have the pressure.
Yeah, it's very YOLO.
Yeah,
in
yeah,
college.
yeah. And having this freedom of feeling righteous by yourself, like feeling I'm the
Best version of
yes,
myself.
yes, and like my opinion is the best from any other opinions, like
Yeah.
a know-it-all sense, probably. So that is one of the way that you can determine your purpose. Start by finding reasons in any activities that you do.
Mhm.
And after accomplishing several things, you can grow your purpose, right?
Yeah.
And also you can start by a certain dream. For example, you want to be a doctor, you want to be a lawyer, you want to be like setting goals of career targets, probably, or it is better if you have this imagination of a person, like having a role model is a good thing. So, and then we can combine all the positive things from our role models,
Yeah.
right? So, in the future, I want to be wealthy, but not arrogant, but like to give to people,
Yeah.
and also have a stable job. It's best if it's balanced with my time with my family.
I think that's perfect. Very
Perfect
perfect.
And then in time, you will know that that is not actually the purpose. There's something beyond there.
Yeah.
So start from somewhere. Maybe you can like give suggestions on how to determine purpose.
Yeah, but I think from our conversation, it's enlightened me that if we want to determine purpose, it doesn't have to be like a massive purpose or
Yeah.
like big
Philosophical.
purpose.
Yeah.
Yes, philosophic purpose.
To be or not to be. That's
Right. We can start with like the things that we can do, just like Kamara said, like it's like to be a good student, to be a good college student and everything. And I think it's the mindset that we as a young generation think that purpose is like the things that very philosophic and value
Yeah.
things. Instead that we can start to like having a small specific purpose, and then yeah. And I think for me, when I want to decide my purposes, it's like I think I'm not objective enough to decide something, so I need a lot of point of views from wise people, like maybe in here, like my sisters, my parents, Abi and Umi here, to like giving their perspective, giving their knowledge to actually what assess this decision that I want to do.
Yeah.
And but in the end, I'm the one that take the decisions to the things that I want to do. I think that's very helpful for me to having several point of view to take my decisions.
Yeah. Like inputs and advices from other
Yeah.
people can also be an inspiration for your purpose, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's good for you, and I think you need to be grateful at a young age. You have that mentality of wanting to listen to other people and
Mhm.
taking those into account for your decisions instead of being a know-it-all, like you feel that you are the one who knows everything about your
Yeah.
life. Turns out it's not. But if you are like that, you will learn along the way. Like you need other people to give better perspective.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I think there are two things that we can keep in mind if we if we are looking for our life purpose. This is actually my own thinking, and everybody is.
this is about opinions.
Yeah.
That's fine.
The two things that we should keep in mind to when we're looking for our life purpose is the first is you have to bear in mind that you are where you are for a reason. So that's why you just like I said, constantly asking you can constantly ask yourself what important or valuable things can you make or do with your time, and then what benefits you can bring for others. And the second thing that you can keep in mind is that every person has the ability to give value to others. So no matter how young you are, no matter where you are, you can give values to others. Like you can teach, maybe you can even at home you can help your mother, you can help your brother, or at school, at college, you can be value to others, to your friends, or even to your teacher. So I think when when you haven't found your life purpose, or when you are still searching for yourself, I think remembering that you can give value to others is very important, because sometimes you can feel useless at times, and because you don't have a purpose in life, and then maybe
It all comes back to that. Yeah.
maybe you don't have a goal right now. So think about the valuable things that you can do for others.
Yeah, and I think taking your point, I think that is also one of the way to find purpose, like
Mhm.
find inspiration in your surroundings.
Yeah.
So instead of like looking all the contents of influencer and thinking that when will I have this convertible car? When will I go to this lavish hotel? Where when will I go to this luxurious trip? Why not like put down your phone and then look at your surroundings, right?
Yeah.
Start from your family. You cannot fulfill your dreams by wishing.
Mhm.
What you can do is actually doing the actions that is possible for you with the things that are in front of your eyes,
Yeah.
right? So if you want to have a better condition in life, you don't need money. You can just organize your room, you can organize your house, you can organize your kitchen. You don't have to wait like, if I have a bigger house, I will make sure my bedroom is spotless. Why not do it now?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need a big house to make it spotless. You just need brooms and swat and wipes, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And also thinking about, if I have a vacuum cleaner, I will clean every day. Why not just clean every day with the things that you have? So I think doing those simple practical things, and also when you have brothers and sisters, like if you want to be, I'm gonna be a great motivator, I'm gonna be a great coach, like someone who is famous for those kind of things, why not start by giving lessons to your little sister or your little brother
Yeah.
in front of your eyes in their studies. But you may say like they are smarter than I am in their age. So you can like give value, like Farah said, in other things. So if a Muslim, you can also help them to be more diligent at salat, to be more diligent in doing saum, to be more diligent in, to be more careful and more what ethical in communications with older people.
Mhm.
Because I want to like underline like these generations way of communication to adults and to parents It's like beyond my imagination. In my days, no, me right now, I can never ever like talk back to my parents. In a way, people say it's like it's a democratic way of raising kids and everything.
Mhm.
That's good from the parents' point of view, but from our us children to people, in spite of how limited their knowledge is, capacities in helping us grow, but still they are our parents. Like,
Yeah.
we need to be grateful. We need to be polite
Yeah,
in a sense, but it doesn't have to hindrance our growth and development. So
that's correct.
I'm being sidetracked. And again, if you're not purposeful, you're purposeless, then it will come off with it will show or manifest it into our personality,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. And I think we can also add on. So it's a 30 minutes mark. So in the last episode, we didn't put on this timer.
It was
Nah.
like an almost an hour of
Almost an hour.
discussion.
That's what happens if you. It's not purposeless. It has a purpose. What happened if we do something without purpose? So let's talk about the consequences. Okay.
I think reflecting back to my younger self, when we do things without purpose, you tend to lay back because okay, why am I doing this thing? I think it's okay if I don't finish it. I think it's okay if I don't do it. So first you lay back, and then I think over time that layback characteristic or that layback mindset uh, will stick to you very
Yeah.
very firmly, so that when you deal with something that is actually important, you will take it lightly. You will take it not seriously
Yeah.
because you are because you're accustomed to not having a purpose. You're accustomed to not do something very seriously because you don't have a purpose. Yeah, so I think that's my take on on your question. Yeah,
Yeah.
you'll get you will be laid back, and then you will be a laid back person like for I don't know the rest of your adult life,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
example.
And to add on is actually when we are faced with challenges or something that we are actually deemed important,
Yeah,
then we don't have the habit of actually having a purpose.
yeah.
Then we became overwhelmed,
Mhm.
pressured,
Yeah.
burdened with the challenges and the tasks given to us. So that's why, like of an early career professional, like
Mhm.
people just come to the workforce and everything, they get overwhelmed with the situation.
Yeah.
Some became very stressful and then felt anxiety, and then like someone even stopped working, someone even like cry in the middle of something without actually knowing why they are crying, and then have this pent up emotions
Yeah.
within them. So it's not healthy mentally because you're not preparing yourself to be a purposeful person. And then like every challenges, every problems became a gigantic problem
Mhm.
because it's like I can never solve this because you never had the purpose to do that. So if you even if you stumble upon the situation and you get great consequences, usually when we start working, we do a lot of mistakes. We
Yeah.
do a lot of mistakes. If even that situation comes to you, make it as a lesson to find purpose in your life.
Yeah.
So probably some of you are experiencing that. Hopefully you're not wasting that big opportunity, that big momentum in your life. Make it as a way to make you more purposeful. So from that, at least from that mistakes, you can say from that failure, you can say, I never be a failure again. It became a purpose. I will never fail in any tasks that are given to me. So it became a purpose. So you became more purposeful. Okay, and then what do you think, Fit? What happens if we don't have a purpose?
Yeah, I think it's coming from my experience when there's the day that I call it like it's a purposeless day when I didn't do anything. I'm just like eating and then pray and then sleep and then everything. But what I realized is that on that day, I just focus on myself and it's all about myself. So I think when we're not purposeful, when we don't have a purpose, it's like we're become more less benefit for others. Like we're not socially giving a good things, we're not socially giving like a good deeds, and then I think want it or not we have to like fit in the social, and then whether yeah we want it or not we have to like giving something to the system that we're in, to the yeah the social that we're in. So I think it's important to have that purpose so we don't have like it's not like self-centered or like it's all about ourselves, but it's to give the impact for others too.
Yeah. As I became, yeah. But in the early days, like my purpose is very egotistical. But along the way, like we are created among society and we cannot live alone.
Yeah.
For those of you who are saying, yes, I can live alone, no, you can't. The food on your table comes from somewhere. And you cannot like I don't know, probably some of you watch this in a very self-sustainable area
Yeah.
by
Maybe you
himself.
have your
or-
own garden.
yeah, by yourself. So yeah, it ranks to you. Yeah, but like actually having a purpose is like if a purpose is only to serve ourselves, then at some point it is going to be expired. The purpose is going to expire.
Yeah.
But when we want to give value, the 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 object of the object of our value is going to be, it's not just one person, 2 person. You have a lot of people even in your closest circle, that your purpose will continue to grow, if not one person, another person, and everything. So the expiration date is going to be a lifetime, eternity, right? It just changes the objects or the audience. So, and yeah, I think if we do something without purpose, that after we achieve our goal that is determined by, like I said, unconsciously we are actually having even a smallest bit of purpose, which is determined by the society, by institutions that we are in, by the workplace, by your family. There's going to be a purpose, but you're not doing it willingly. So it became somewhat purposeless. So when that happens, when you achieve or not achieve that goal, and then you have, like for example, if you go to college and then you don't finish your college on time, and then there's going to be this limit of how many years you can actually finish your college, and you're not finishing your college, then when that limitations stops, then you will come to a realization, what do I do now? So that's, we became confused of what to do next, aimlessly going on with our lives. So we do a lot of compensation. Our personality, each and every day, can be worse than before because we compensate. We don't have any achievements. We don't have anything that we feel proud of. We don't have any value that we think. We don't have any good self-esteem. So we take it out to other people,
Yeah.
right? So that's not healthy. So you don't have your support system with you. Okay, that's all our talk about purpose. So to sum it up, basically each and every one of us have given the definition of purpose. Just use one of it, and then how to determine your purpose. Like you can start by having a dream, or in any kind of situations you are in. You can also be inspired by people around you, listen to advices, look for role models, good role models. And then the third is you can find inspirations in your surroundings, in your closest circle, closest environment. Find ways to give value to other people, to give benefits to other people. And from there, I think you need to experience this to know you will feel more purposeful. Even we are not certain that we have chosen the right purpose in
Yeah.
life, but determining that purpose is actually made it lighter for us to do a lot of things like what we're doing right now because we want to give value to other people. Why not do something that we're good at English, we like talking, and then we want to spend time together. Why not make this YouTube channel or podcast? So that's one of the happiness that we get by having purpose. So yeah, that's it. I think.
Yes.
Right. So it's been fun.
Yes,
We're
very fun.
actually quite nervous with this discussion, thinking that we wouldn't be very enlightening about, we won't be giving any enlightenment, but hopefully from our discussion, experiences, and how we try to break it down as simple as possible,
Yeah.
as structured as possible as we can. So from there, hopefully, each our viewers who has their purpose will be stimulated to upgrade their purpose better in life. And secondly, if you are unconsciously having purpose, you will affirm, you will like make the purpose more concrete in your life by having that statement within yourself. And third, if you don't have a purpose, you feel that you are aimlessly going on through life. Hopefully, this will motivate you to find, create your purpose by those tips that we have given you throughout this discussion. Okay, so hope to see you again in the next episode. We're gonna talk about happiness,
Yeah,
right?
that's
Do
right.
we live to chase happiness or not? Right. Everyone wants to be happy.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So and if you haven't catch our previous 5 episodes, this is the sixth episode. So be sure to watch it because we had fun doing the discussion. And throughout the consultations, we had several consultations, and we said like, okay, to answer this, you need to watch episode 4 of EDF, right?
Yeah.
For this, you need to watch our third episode about resolutions. So to understand more about that. So hopefully it also answer the problems that you are facing right now, helping you to have fun in this 45 minutes videos. Thankfully, it's not almost an hour, right? That's all from us. Thank you very much for joining us here and see you in the next episode. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.